Hello and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a fairly rushed introduction. I've just been told that I need to be working from the office this morning. So I'm going to quickly introduce this, choose my next read, and then I need to head off to the office. So I have 5 books left on my TBR and we're now on the 22nd. And so this week I'm going to try and see if I can get through at least 2 of these books. I also want to read a poetry anthology because I'm pretty sure it's Poetry Month, National Poetry Month. I don't know if that's an American date or a UK date or just a worldwide date. I don't know, but I thought I would at least read one small poetry anthology this week as well. So let's have a look at the 5 books that I've got left on my TBR. First of all, we've got a Dean Koontz, which is he usually does horror books, but this seems to be like a thriller. So I don't know whether it's going to be a thriller with a bit of a horror not take on it, but a bit of horror in there as well. I think it's more like a psychological thriller. We've got Venom by Joan Brady, which is, I think, about someone gets released from prison and there's a hitman at the door. I think this was probably going to be a bit of a suspense and page turner. I think probably quite fast paced. The chapters are very short, which I absolutely love. So there is that option. We've got Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which is the first in a series, which is a fantasy series I've heard really good things about. If You Go Down to the Woods by Seth C. Adams. This one, I have a feeling I might have read this like a few years ago. When I read the synopsis, I was like, this sounds very familiar. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's something to do with 4 13-year-olds. They come across a body and it basically changes something with them for the rest of their lives. And then we see them like later on in life. And that, I think that's what it's about. I don't know whether we do see them later on in life and then it's like them looking back. But it's a first person narrative. I did read the first page as well and I did quite like the writing. So I think this again is going to be quite a good atmospheric thriller. And then we have a Chris Ryan book, which is Strike Back. This is basically a soldiers, and this is definitely going to be, I think someone gets, a Sky TV reporter gets captured by a ruthless gang of terrorists and it's basically trying to save her. This is very much an action-packed type of book. So we've got a couple of thrillers, we've got a fantasy, we've got an action book. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this Chris Ryan book. I kind of feel like I need a fast-paced action, especially after the book that I've just read as well. So I think I'm going to start with this one. I'll then break it up with the poetry, small poetry anthology. And then I'm thinking I might go for this. I don't think I'm going to get all of these done this week, but we'll give it a shot. I think that's probably wishful thinking. So yeah, I'm going to take this one with me to work just in case I do get any chance to read, but I doubt it very much. I'm only there until 1 and then I'm coming back home to work from home. So yeah, we'll see. I'll give you an update, you know, when I'm so far into it. Okay, so just a little reading update. So I'm currently reading Strike Back by Chris Ryan. It's very action-packed. So it is basically following SAS soldiers. And in particular, we are following Porter. And 17 years ago, they were on a mission to basically rescue someone who'd been taken by a group of terrorists. That mission failed with the death of the other soldiers that was with him. And he always basically blamed himself. And we're now 17 years later and he's basically out on the street, he's homeless, he's an alcoholic, and he blames himself for that mission going wrong. And we're basically at a point now, I'm on page 55, so I haven't got really far into this, but you know, a good start anyway. We got to the point where someone else has been taken 17 years later, and he recognizes one of the kidnappers, and he takes it upon himself that he's going to be the one on this rescue mission, basically going back and trying to save this person who has been kidnapped or taken hostage. This is not shy of putting in the gruesome details, let's put it that way. There are some very gruesome points to this book and to this story, and it just doesn't hold back, so it's not for the faint-hearted. However, it's very action-packed, and I mean, the writing isn't like the best writing, but it's very much a fast-paced read, and it's very good at putting you there. So as I'm reading it, it's like I'm actually there with these characters. I mean, Porter isn't like the most likable person, as you know, but obviously you kind of feel sorry for him because he is homeless and an alcoholic and has these issues because he does blame himself. He's also going to go up against this guy who, let's check what's his name? Sir Collinson. And he's basically this class as this military hero. And I think both of them, they obviously have a past and a connection to what happened 17 years ago. And we kind of see that they're both basically going to go for, you know, this mission to save this person who's currently being held hostage. So I don't know, I really like action-packed books, and I definitely prefer action-packed films. I always go for action films, if anything else, when I'm ever just looking through Netflix and deciding what to watch. I don't know, I just love action-packed books and films, and so this, I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. We've basically got this SAS mission going on, then we're seeing, you know, what's happening to Porter 17 years later, and it looks like there's going to be another action-packed mission going on. So yeah, I do love the action, I really do. And I've not actually read anything by Chris Ryan before, but I got a lot of books given to me by my father-in-law, and I've also got a couple of books given to me by my granddad, which were Chris Ryan books. So I think he's definitely an author that is probably for like majority of men. It's mainly like the majority of the readers are men. So yeah, I don't know, but I still really enjoy it. I do. I just think it's just a really quick, fast-paced read. I'm going to continue reading because for an hour I'm going to continue reading. I'm then heading off to my parents for dinner. I might get some reading in whilst I'm there. I'm not sure. I don't tend to always be able to get some reading in. It was just with my mum, then my mum tends to put like something on, and I might read something whilst there's something on in the background on the TV. I don't know. We shall see. If not, then when I get back after dinner, then I will definitely sit in the library and read some more of this, because I am quite intrigued and quite enjoying it. Okay, it's a little reading update. I'm still reading Strike Back by Chris Ryan. I'm past halfway now. I'm on page 167, and we've just got to the point where he is now in Lebanon and he's about to start negotiations, and there's something that seems to be happening at the moment which was not to plan. It's not what he was predicting, or what the English government was predicting. So there's a good possibility that this is going to turn into like a gunfight, or there's going to be a point where he's fighting for his life, or that sort of thing. So it's quite tense at the moment. It's going to be interesting how this continues, because yeah, it's such a tense read. So it's not beautifully written. Like, you can't say this sort of book is ever beautifully written, you know. It's not meant to be like beautiful descriptions and things like that. It's meant to be easy to read, fast paced, that sort of thing. Like, you kind of like, when I'm actually sat reading, I'm actually getting through it quite quickly. It's just a case of being able to read. So, I mean, I'm past the halfway mark. Tomorrow I'm not in the office at all. I'm working from home all day. So I should get this finished tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. So this evening I'm going to be finishing work in about 20 minutes, and I'm heading off to do a food shop, and we'll have some dinner. I don't know if we're going to watch a film or we're going to start a new Netflix series. I haven't decided yet what we're doing, so we shall see. Yeah, it's just going to be a chilled evening, I think. I'm very tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. I genuinely can't fathom why I'm so tired, but I am. I still feel like I haven't fully got over the illness that I had, and it's starting to get on me wick a little bit, let's put it that way. It's starting to annoy me a bit, because my ear's still playing up and I'm still like congested, and it's even worse in the mornings. So I'm kind of trying to work out what the hell is going on. I'm trying to work out how to get my hearing back properly. But you know, it's all part and parcel with being ill, isn't it? You get the flu and that turns into an ear infection, and then yeah, it continues on. But it is what it is. So reading wise, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to read like a poetry anthology next, because it is National Poetry Month or something this month. So I think it would be good to chuck in a poetry collection as well. And then I'll decide for my TBR what I'm going to read after that. But yeah, so far this is going really well. I'm looking forward to just a chilled evening, because it's very much needed. But I just wanted to give a quick update. So yeah, I'm going to head to the shops in a minute and get a food shopping. I have a reading update. Happy Wednesday. I'm now working back from home. If you saw from my last update, I was in the office yesterday, and I was basically saying how I didn't know what I was doing in the evening. So it turned out to be a very nice evening. I spent some time in the library, quite a bit of time in the library, whilst Paul was working on one of the cars in the garage. So I did get quite a bit of reading done yesterday, which I'm pleased about. And then afterwards we went and got a hot chocolate from McDonald's and went down to Mudeford Quay just to sit by the sea. And then when I got back, just had a very nice chilled self-care routine. I showered, did all my skincare, just relaxed quite a bit. So it was a very nice evening. So on Wednesday now, I've just finished a book, which is Strike Back by Chris Ryan. This is very much your adventure type of book. It's very action-packed, which I absolutely loved. So I do really like adventure style books. I mean, Clive Cussler is someone that I used to read quite a lot when I was younger, and I think his books are kind of like, you know, the proper adventure style books, and it's probably like the best way of describing these sort of books. So this is basically following ex-SAS bloke, and he's basically being sent in to negotiate the release of a Sky news presenter. And yeah, it's very tense. There's a lot of action going on in this book, which I absolutely love. So it's not the best writing, but I don't know, I ended up really liking the main character. I really did. So John Porter, I ended up really liking that main character, and I also started to like the villain as well in the book, so which was interesting. But yeah, there are some likeable characters in this, so that was quite good. And quite surprised about as well, because usually it doesn't dive too much into character development when you've got these sort of books. They're just very easy to read, very fast paced, very much all about the action, which was perfect for what I needed right now. So I'm really pleased that I picked this up. I've given it 4 stars. It's not a wow, amazing 5-star read, but I just really liked it. But I know it's not for everyone, these type of books, but I just do love it, a good old action-packed story, so with a lot of adventure. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I picked that up. It's now just gone 11 o'clock, so I have time before lunch to read my poetry anthology, and I'm going to be reading this, which is I Am More Than My Nightmares by Jennea Cecilia, and is a sequel to I Am More Than a Daydream, which I read last year. Really liked that. They're very short poems, so it's not going to take me long to read at all, but I thought I'd give this a read before lunch and then pick my top 2 and share them with you. So I thought I'd do that because obviously this month is National Poetry Month, so I thought it'd be a good idea just to pick up a poetry collection. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be reading this now before lunchtime. So I'll give you an update at that point. And then after lunch I'll be starting my next week, but I'll show you that in a bit. And then when I finish work this evening, we're actually going to take our bikes and cycle down to the beach and have a picnic on the beach, which I'm very much looking forward to. At the moment it's very cloudy, but it's meant to brighten up about 5 o'clock-ish. So the sun should be out. It's due to be out once I finished work. So we're going to cycle straight down to the beach, have a picnic. We've got some rosé wine as well, just to, you know, get out of the house, enjoy these evenings that, you know, a bit lighter evenings, because it doesn't start getting dark until about 8 o'clock. So it's time to make the most of it, really. So that's the plan for today, but I will come on here just before lunch and update with my top 2 poems from this collection in a bit. Okay, I've just finished this little poetry collection. So this is perfect if you suffer with anxiety. So this is a self-published author who has put together quite a few collections. She's very much open to talking about her own struggles with anxiety. And she's basically created these poems, which is basically meant for you to flip through and, you know, help yourself a little bit, to be honest. Help yourself get past the anxiety, basically to unwind and realise that you are not alone. So I have got 5 poems that I want to share. These are the 5 that really, you know, resonate with me. So the first one is, I am not guaranteed a week, a month or a year. I am not guaranteed to get old enough to see my face wrinkle or my hair grey, but I am guaranteed right now, this moment. I will not live my life betting on the next day. I won't. I will live for today. Which I thought was something that I always like to say anyway to myself, to just live in the moment. This one is healing isn't taking the first lane down the highway. Healing is taking back roads with potholes and dead ends, but I will get there. I will. So as you can see, they're very short, but some of them just really do hit. They really do hit me. This one is, although it seems long and tiring, one day you will look back and realise all the growth you made on your hike. So basically they're just to like remind you a little bit. And this one, my journey has not been perfect. If it was, I wouldn't have been crafted into the woman I am today. Strong, beautiful, kind, grateful, loving. And then the last one that I tabbed, I see stars as small reminders from the universe that even dark times show specks of light when you really pay attention. So yeah, I don't know, I really like this author of poetry. Even with the book that I read last year, it was, you know, along the same sort of lines. And I don't know, there's just something about poetry. So they're very small poems, but they're all, you know, great if you're feeling a bit anxious. They basically just lift you up and remind you that, yeah, you're not alone. So I would definitely recommend this. I really liked it. There was just 5 examples that I thought I'd share. I'm gonna have some lunch and then I will make a start on my next read, which is gonna be something to do with Down to the Woods by Seth Adams. That's gonna be my next read. So I'm gonna have lunch and then start on that afterwards. Okay, so a quick update, reading update on this. If you go Down to the Woods by Seth Adams. So I'm only about, what page am I on? 42, so I haven't got far into it. I'm pretty sure that I may have read this a few years ago. So we're kind of following Joey, and something has happened to him and a group of friends when they were younger, and I believe he is now an adult and he's narrating the story, taking us back to when he was 13 when this incident occurred. I can't quite work out whether the narration is him as an adult talking about when he was 13, or it kind of seems like it's more just narrated from a 13-year-old's point of view. You're kind of getting his thoughts at 13, so it's not like he's just telling the story of what happened. It's like it's actually gone back and we're seeing the narration from a 13-year-old Joey, if that makes sense. In a second, I just dropped my book. So yeah, I'm not sure what all that is about. Trying to work that out. I am enjoying this book. I mean, Joey isn't a very likeable character, if I'm completely honest. He says some not very nice things about his friend Bobby, and he's also not very nice to adults as well. He's quite rude towards adults. So yeah, there is that. But I am enjoying the story. We're kind of just seeing him meet Bobby and Tara, who are 2 of the other characters in this group of 4. So we know something is going to happen to them. I think as the book goes on, I'm going to start remembering more things, because I've already remembered like when he met Bobby and when he met Tara. I'm like remembering it from when I read it before. I just can't remember what actually happened. So I picked up this copy. Well, I got given it by my mum. But yeah, I'm about 95% certain I read this a couple of years ago. But I'm sure it's still going to be an enjoyable read second time round, because I don't really remember what happened before. But I just wanted to come on and have a little update, give a little update. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm going to be finishing work at 6. The sun is out at the moment, but there are some dark clouds. And I'm hoping the sun stays out because we are going to be cycling down to the beach and having a picnic. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, the sun stays out. But I just wanted to give a quick reading update on my current read. Okay, so very quick reading update in regards to this. I haven't really read very much today. It's been very hectic. I am starting to remember more of this though. I have a feeling that it was sooner than I first thought that I read this. I'm not sure, but it's all starting to come back to me a little bit as well. There is something that I have noticed though whilst reading these few pages. So it's set in the 80s, but it was actually written in 2018. And I know that it's set in the 80s. However, it just seems really weird that a book that came out in 2018 has the sort of language and writing that this has. There's a lot of racist slurs, and then there's you know, some stuff that Joey says about his friend who he calls Fat Bobby, and I just kind of feel like some of these words and slurs are just not necessary, and it kind of makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not used to reading books where there's these intentional words, like racial words and things, so it's kind of making it feel a bit uncomfortable. I think I'm going to continue with the book. However, it's starting to all just come back to me a little bit, so I'm kind of feeling like it's just going to get to a point halfway through, and then it's going to suddenly hit me and I'm going to remember exactly what happened, and then I'm going to be really annoyed that I'm reading a book that I've already read previously. So I'm going to give it a try this evening. It might be a case that I stop reading this and pick up something else, because I feel like this is all going to start coming back to me. It's getting to that point. I'm only like on page 48 and it's starting to, the cogs are turning. Is that the saying? I'm starting to remember them, like what happens in this. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to be walking back home. It is raining, so I have bought a waterproof, so that's okay. So I'm going to be walking back home. When I get home, Paul's probably not going to be home for a bit, so I'm going to shower, wash my hair, do everything to get me into my pajamas and cozy. I'll try reading a little bit more before Paul comes back, and then we'll have some dinner. It's just a very quick dinner, pasta dinner tonight, and then we'll see what the plans are for the evening. I just want a chilled evening though. Tomorrow we're out straight from work, and Saturday we've got quite a bit planned, and Sunday I'm out, so it'll be good to have a nice chilled evening this evening after such a really busy day at work. I only managed to stop all of my work about half an hour ago, hence why I haven't really read much today. So yeah, there we have it. That's just a little quick reading update. We'll see how it goes, see if I continue with this or whether I start another one. I'm starting to think I might stop reading this one and pick up Robin Hobb's book, Assassin's Apprentice, because we're on the 25th. It'd be good to finish that by the end of the month, and that'd be another book ticked off the TBR. We shall see. I'll decide when I get home, and yeah, I'll make a decision this evening anyway. Good morning and happy Friday. I just wanted to come on here to update you. So you may have seen my last clip. I was basically umming and ahhing about whether I was going to start a new book or carry on with the one that I was reading. I chose to start a new book, and I'm so glad that I did. So when I got home yesterday, I walked home and it was a bit rainy, and so I had a very hot shower and washed my hair and put on my favourite pyjamas that have tigers on, and was able to sit in the library for a little bit before Paul got home. Then we had a nice dinner and just a very chilled evening. It was lovely. And the book that I started was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Now, I'm not far in. I'm only like 20 pages in. But I'm thinking this was such a good shout. I'm already loving it. Already loving it. So I'm really glad that I started this. So this is going to be my current read. There we have it. I'm going to read for like 10 minutes now, and then I'm going to get ready. I'm going to walk to work this morning. It's very misty and damp out there, but I'm going to wear my some of my walking clothes instead and then just change when I get to work. So I'm going to do that this morning. I don't know whether I'm going to get any reading done today. It depends on whether my colleague's staying or going. And then Paul is going to be picking me up from work because we're going straight out. We're going to Southsea, I believe is where it is, to pick up a car part. So probably going to have dinner at Portsdown Hill this evening. So that'll be nice. Bit different. So a little car trip, a little road trip to go and get some car parts. So yeah, that's the plan for this evening. So I'm gonna read for about 10 minutes, a bit more of this, because I'm really enjoying it. It's the writing. It's the writing. So many people have been saying how amazing this book is. And I don't know why I didn't pick it up sooner, but I'm glad I'm in it now.
Finbar.
Hello and happy Sunday. Today's been actually a really good day. I had a quite chilled morning. Just sat reading with the cats. And then this afternoon I went to meet up with some friends. We sat in a pub garden. It was very nice indeed. Just excuse my hair. I just noticed it's falling out of its clip. Just gonna deal with it. Just leave it like that. I basically just wanted to wrap up this vlog. So let's have a look at the 3 books that I read. Well, started reading. There was probably like a little glitch there. I had to just get Leo off the top of the sofa because he started clawing. He's not allowed to claw the sofas. So yeah, I was saying 3 books. I started reading The Assassin's Apprentice, but I did definitely finish this week, which was Strike Back by Chris Ryan. Very much your action adventure type book, which I absolutely loved. I gave it 4 stars. It's kind of like the sort of book where I just needed it this time. I just needed it for this week. It was a very fast paced, a very good read. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Obviously not for everyone, but it was, yeah, it was good for me. I then also read a poetry collection because it is National Poetry Month this month. So I went for this one, which is by Jennea, Cecilia, which is perfect if you kind of suffer from anxiety or anything like that. I think I've like smudged my I just look a mess, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, this I think is perfect for anyone that's kind of suffering from anxiety. I think it's just a really good uplifting type of poetry collection. So I recommend it for that. And I've started Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I'm not quite halfway through, but I'm going to do a bit of reading now. It's a very like fantasy and adventure type of story. So I think I am going to enjoy it. It's got to kind of slow down quite a bit at the moment. I mean, I'm on some 150 odd pages in, and it has slowed down quite a bit, which I'm a bit worried about, but I think it's going to start picking up. I mean, they are on a bit of a quest, as it were. So I'm thinking it's possibly going to pick up. We shall see. But it's, yeah, definitely got to hit a slow point at this moment in time. So yeah, hopefully it picks up. So that's what I'm going to be going into next week with reading. I've had a very good week this week, done quite a bit of different things, which I've basically taken you along with. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I'll be back very soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.